10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year to everybody. Regardless of where you are, I'm nearly as far in the past as I can possibly be based off of my current time zone, but it is now New Year's and I'm recording this 2023 wrap up because this is how I'm going to be doing things. And if I sound a little bit different, it's because I'm talking very quietly and directly into the mic because it's midnight, obviously, and I don't want to be a bother on my family. But as things stand, 2023 was a fantastic year, and I do want to thank everybody who has been a part of it sincerely and, as strongly as I possibly can. I would not be where I am without this channel and the people who have been viewing and the friends that I've made through this process. 2023 was crazy and I'm ready to do it all again with a little bit extra on top. So let's go ahead and get into what this recap is going to be made of. To start, if you might actually be able to hear some fireworks going off in the background. Yeah, that's what people are doing right now. First off, I do want to announce just a couple major changes that might be happening to my various channels and other related stuff in 2024. Not as much to talk about here as there was last year. I'm also going to go over my general 2023 recap plus channel statistics, and trust me, this was a big year for me. Obviously, we're going to get into how 2023 went. Obviously, like I said, that was amazing. We're going to cover the specific stats for the channel, and then we're going to go over my goals, plans, and hopes for 2024, generally speaking. First things first, the one major thing I do want to announce as a change for this channel in 2024 is I will be adding a new sub-series of videos to come out. This is probably not going to be as intentionally consistent as, say, the book binge is, just because I can't really guarantee that I'll be able to add in an extra video every couple weeks. But on this Sundays opposite Fortnite on the Isle, my bi-weekly update series, so a bi-weekly series I'm going to add, in place of the Sundays that don't have another video coming out, will be short story Sundays. So basically the conceit of this is something not too dissimilar from the book binge where I cover stories, but these are going to be specifically short stories from specific authors that I read and enjoy. So people like Edgar Allan Poe and H.P. Lovecraft and William Hope Hodgson and a few others that I'm going to collect some short stories for. I want to read specific short stories from these authors and analyze those stories in Short Story Sundays. I hope these videos will be a little bit shorter. I hope they'll be a little bit more specific and spoilery and analytical of the stories at times, as far as I feel like I am able to analyze them, so that they can be a little bit different from the book binge, but also so that I can have a little bit of something extra to cover on the channel that isn't just books, because I don't read fast enough to add any more reviews than I do in a year, and I don't do that many reviews in a year, all things considered. I only read about 40 or so books in a year, so I can only review so many things. But I do want to cover more short stories. I want to read more short stories, and I figure if I have a reason to cover them on the channel, such as Short Story Sundays, but nothing that is, rushing me too much, just one short story every couple of weeks is the only real requirement coming out of this, means that maybe I'll actually read a little bit of short stories and make that a point in my TBR. So that is something that I find to be rather exciting. Otherwise, let's talk about the general 2023 recap with statistics. I had a fantastic year this year, not just in my personal life, which I did, all things considered, but especially with this channel, and that is all thanks to you guys. Let's cover some of the big numbers that my channel saw this year, starting off with my main channel, because I obviously did the main channel throughout the entire year. 7,745 views. Bear in mind that these statistics only go through the end of December 30th, actually. They don't actually include the 31st. The reason I waited to record this video until after midnight was because I figured that things would auto-update at the turn of the clock, but apparently that's not how YouTube works. But either way, it's close enough. With my numbers, it doesn't really make much of a difference. But 7,745 views, so I basically hit 7,750 views over the course of the year, compared to approximately 2,500 or so, maybe 2,750 in 2022. I don't have the exact stats from that year because of various different reasons, but an increase of 5,000 plus views from year to year is absurd. So thank you guys so much for all of that. Similarly, I had a huge jump in watch hours, as you would expect, 741.3 watch hours, which is also absurd. I had about 151 watch hours in 2022. So for that to have jumped up by nearly 600 over the past year was just, it's beyond words for me to be able to describe how that really feels. I nearly hit 750 watch hours this year, and that was not something that I ever thought would happen. If you jump back to my equivalent video that I released at the beginning of 2023, doing my 2022 year in review, I was saying like, hopefully I'll hit 200, maybe by some obscene, just good luck and goodwill from whatever exists out there. I might hit 250, and here I am at nearly 750. It's been absurd, but I do have mostly to thank for these views and watch hours, and even the subscribers, as we'll cover in a bit. Jonathan from the channel Words in Time, and Christopher, the author of Sun Eater, for both appearing on my channel in 3 videos between the 3 of them, and Christopher also having me on his channel for a video over the year. And these guys have been great friends of mine. Christopher especially has opened up many opportunities for me in different spheres and realms that I did not anticipate happening. And Sun Eater content on my channel probably makes up a solid half, well, maybe not half, makes up a solid third of what all my channel got in terms of retention and views and watch hours and stuff, just because of Christopher. So I really seriously have to thank him for that. Next up, I did have 372,335 impressions over the year, which is an incomprehensible number. When I hit 250,000 impressions, I was like, wow, but here I hit nearly 375,000. For all I know, it might have actually been 375,000. That's a very big number. You want to know how many I got in 2022? About 50,000. So that number is a lot bigger as well. This one is more on the YouTube side. This one isn't really affected too much by the viewers, but viewers watching a lot of the videos and commenting and liking and stuff like that has a big impact on how much your video gets, impressed upon others. So I can still thank you guys, even if this isn't a direct result of your viewing. But the number that kind of weirds me out the most, in a way, even though those are some pretty big numbers, and this is the smallest number that I'm talking about here, I had a net gain of 121 subscribers this year, putting my total at 552. My pipe dream hope, again, in the equivalent video that I did a year ago, was like, maybe I'll hit 500. I would be very happy if I hit 500, and I hit 550. That's really, really cool, considering that my net gain of subscribers in 2022 was only 27, and I nearly surpassed that record by 100. It just kind of blows my mind. My channel has had a very good year this year, and I cannot thank everybody enough for that again. But notice that I said my main channel earlier, because I do have a second channel. It's not necessarily super crazy. I kind of cover all the stuff that I don't cover here, so like gaming, music, other various stuff I want to do over there over time. But I had 477 views there, 66.5 watch hours. Both of those are much bigger than I expected them to be. And then 15,659 impressions, despite those being allocated a little bit strangely, but it was the case nonetheless. and a net gain of 11 subscribers, putting my total over there at 13. And you might wonder why I had a couple subscribers from before that. Well, way back in the day, like in 2016 or maybe even before that, I had a few videos on that channel that have since been removed. And I had a few subs from over there. So, you know, that's just kind of how things go. The second channel did surprisingly well. I hope to be able to do more with it in the future, but we will talk about that in a moment. As for my website and my writing, well, I released several music blogs, which I actually made into videos for my second channel, including my 6 album reviews and one of my 2 discography rankings that I did. These are music related videos. I want to go back and put some of those earlier blogs that I did in 2023 and record those as videos to put on the second channel, or at least put them on their appropriate pages on the website pages, because that would be fun. But I also did my 2022 recap, being gaming and music, you know, my favorite albums and games of the year, so that was really fun. Actually, that's a lie. Yeah, never mind. That's true. I did those nearly a year ago, and in fact, I still need to prepare those for this year, actually. But the real thing that I'm proud of in terms of my writing is I did a lot with the Reign of Ash this year. I kind of figured out what I was doing with that whole thing. I made short summaries for all 19 books in the Reign of Ash, and I started, well, I made 3-paragraph short summaries of what those would be. I expanded each of those 3 paragraphs for each book into 9 paragraphs, and then I'm expanding those into outlines. So I got all 9 or all 19 short summaries, all 19 expanded summaries, and I started working on outlines. I got 3 full outlines written and 1.5 of them revised, even though I hoped that would be 2 of them. But all in all, I totaled just over 72,500 words written this year, which may not sound super impressive when you compare it to some of the, you know, juggernauts in the space, and especially the professional career writers. But that was a lot for me. I was hoping to hit 75,000 near the end, but I've been exceedingly lazy with my writing the last couple weeks, just kind of relaxing with the holidays and whatnot. But either way, I'm very proud of the fact that I've been able to work so hard on the Reign of Ash, and that I'm not feeling a slowdown in terms of my motivation for it. I still want to go back to it every day and continue further, regardless of whether I have time for it or whether I make time for it or not. As for my goals, plans, and hopes for 2024, well, I'm not going to be too crazy with them. The fact that 2023 was so big means that I'm probably not going to count my chickens before they hatch, and just going to be reasonable with my goals and everything this year. I hope to see a video count in the 150 plus. I was very close with that this year. I was hoping to hit 125 to 150. I released 144 videos this year on the main channel, or 145 actually. So that seems reasonable enough, since I'll add in short story Sundays here and there, probably as consistently as I can. I should be able to break 150 videos in the year, which is kind of a crazy concept all its own. I hope to see, you know, 7,500 views or more again. 10,000 views or more would be awesome, but that's a pipe dream goal. I'd love to see 750 plus watch hours, so just barely over what I got this year. If I can somehow manage to get to that point again, that would be really awesome. I'd like to see my end sub goal reach 750. That's definitely not going to happen, but you know, it would be really cool if that somehow happened regardless. The fact that I hit 500 this year, I'm getting a 200 net gain of subscribers over the coming year, and hitting 750 would be amazing. I hope to continue my music blog again, and I would also actually like to revamp my Goodreads content over there as well for the blog. Because Goodreads isn't related to music, but I would like to do more with the blog this year and actually get behind doing that. I hope to release more poems. I said this last year, And I keep remembering every few weeks that I have some stuff that I want to release that I've written over the past couple years, but I just inevitably forget immediately and never get around to it, so maybe I'll get around to doing that this year. And I hope to get back on the short story train as well. I'm going to be working on a really cool project that is sort of related to this, probably my magnum opus, even beyond the Reign of Ash, but you know, that's kind of a big project and it's probably never going to release anytime soon, but I would still like to write some short stories in the meantime. And the Reign of Ash will see a lot more outlines. I'm going to finalize the Silent Reign trilogy revisions that I've been working on, and I would like to get through the Hermit of the Vars trilogy, get all 3 of those written and revised, but because those are hopefully going to be a bit shorter, I would also like to be able to get started on the Veil of Embers outlines as well, but no guarantees there. These are just kind of my hopes for the year. If I can be through the first 2 trilogies outlining, get started on some other writing projects, and actually get the website, you know, on a train where I'm actually updating it and working on it fully and more consistently, that would be amazing. Otherwise, that's basically all that I have for the hopes and the goals for the year. And another thing, as I kind of talked about my second channel, if you are interested in gaming content and potentially live streams in the future over there, the second channel does exist. It is linked in the description of this video and basically every other one on the channel at this point. Obviously, that channel is super secondary to this one, and it is kind of inconsistent, but I will try to continue posting 1 video a week, if not more, over there, as long as I am reasonably able to do so, especially as my 2020 backlog of Let's Plays, you know, wraps up here in a couple months, because those are nearly done. So I would like to actually get some of the other Let's Plays I've recorded in the meantime this year edited, because I've been massively slacking on those, and actually get those up. That would be cool. But yeah, that is the 2023 year in review and some general hopes for 2024. And that's all I got for you. Speaking of the descriptions, I also have my website linked down there. It is not up to date though. It's been a few months since I've actually gone and updated anything over there, so it's a little bit behind. But the link is down there nonetheless if you are interested in following along. But yeah, otherwise, that will be the end of this video. I gotta get this wrapped up and edited so that I can render and upload while I sleep tonight, so that I can, you know, upload and be published at the same time as any other video would be, generally speaking. Or maybe a few hours late, but, you know, one can hope. I gotta get this done, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave this off here. Thank you guys again so much for an incredible year. It means the world to me. And here's to a massive and hopefully very good 2024 as well.